Welcome back to the channel on this nice sunny day, which hopefully equals some hay being cut on the ground. To give a little insight on the past 2 days, we had to fix the haybine. As you've seen in the first day, we cut like maybe 50, it might have been 100 feet, I guess. I don't know. First pass, let's just say 100 feet, and the haybine reel stopped turning. So if you missed that video, you can go check that out. But that's basically what happened. The chain popped off. Well, long story short, we blew a bearing on one of the upper roller. So we had to fix that. I got a new chain, got everything fixed. And then yesterday we were planning, I finished fixing it yesterday, got some parts. And yesterday, no rain has been in the forecast for even now, the next 10 days. And yesterday afternoon I came down, kind of the same thing right now. It's starting to get dark to the west. This is what happened yesterday, and it just let loose and downpoured. So we didn't cut yesterday either. And I just checked the radar. There's nothing coming this way, and that doesn't look near as bad as what it did yesterday, but hopefully we're in a good window now where we can cut and it's not gonna get rained on. There is maybe a 20% chance Friday, but hopefully nothing happens. So anyway, with that said, we're gonna jump right in, try and get this hay cut, all of it cut tonight. Here's the repairs that we made. We got a brand new chain on here, and the other bearing that I had from the combine actually worked pretty well. I ran this already slow, and come to find out, I was having trouble with the other chain being super tight, and I think this bearing had wear in it before. So there's 2 tensioners on here in order to tension the chain, which this looks like it might be able to use it a little bit more, but it's pretty good. Anyway, there's a tensioner here, which is your final adjustment tensioner, and the main tensioner is loosening this nut here, and there's actually like a carriage bolt on the back that has and you can slide it front and back. So you tension it initially with this and do your final adjustments with that. So everything should be good to go on that. Bearings in, locking collars in, everything's good to go. We're gonna get rolling and start cutting. I think one thing that I forgot to do on the tractor is check air pressure. And maybe I already did that. I don't know. I'll have to look, but I'm pretty sure I may have to do that. Anyway, we'll get going. We'll back out. We're going to start right where we left off, get zipping, get rolling, and hopefully get everything cut tonight. We really, because of all the weeds in the fields and bush hogging, the majority of them, there is not as much fields to cut like we had first cutting. So hopefully everything will get cut tonight. As I went over in the first video, we got everything here and over around the house. Down at the big creek field by where we had oats, we have a little bit there, and then one field on the backside, and that's it. So I'm gonna check the radar here once again, because as you can see right there, I don't like that. And with it downpouring yesterday, I'm actually, this may sound stupid, but I'm really glad that the haybine broke. And that may sound stupid, but yesterday it downpoured. So if I'd had all the hay cut the day before, it would have all got rained on yesterday, and I could still dry it out. But if you do hay, you know what I'm talking about. So I got the headlands done. So now I'm gonna split the field roughly in half. Kind of looks like I'm that way a little bit too far, but oh well. I just don't want to have to be driving this far, so I'll split it in half and do it that way. But some thick stuff. There's definitely some foxtail in here that I'm really not a fan of, but it is what it is. It's not like the whole field. So we'll get rolling with the rest of this. Tractor's running pretty good. Haybine's doing good. And had to make a few tweaks to the tractor, but nothing crazy. So we'll get going, and it's going pretty quick. I did everything on the outskirts in first gear. Now I've bumped it up to second, and we're definitely going a lot faster. You know what I want? A tractor that works. I don't understand. I really don't. I really just need to get a diesel. This gas stuff just drives me insane. I literally have no idea what's happening at this point. For all I know, the screen in the tank is clogged. Didn't look like it, but very possible. Decided I'm not going to cut that upper side up there because it's all foxtail and I don't really want foxtail. The bristly seed heads are just not good for livestock, not good for hay at all. field's done, and that should not have taken that long. Every couple minutes I had to get off the tractor, deal with something. It's gotta be a fuel issue, because it'll run fine for a while and then all of a sudden it'll just like start popping and carrying on. Kind of the same thing that we had going on before. So I don't know if that screen is clogging up in there. I don't know what's worse. I dumped out a bunch of the sediment when I put that in, and looking down in the tank, there's a whole big pile of it again. So it's like a never-ending battle. But regardless, I'm just gonna try and make it through, and I don't know, I have to think about if I wanna just remove that screen in there, put bigger fuel line in. I honestly have no idea, but this is where we're at. Should not have taken that long again. So we'll move to the second one. This is thick. This field's probably as tall as the tractor. Yuck! Get out of here. Blech. Yeah, this stuff is tall. We're gonna have trouble getting this to dry out. I can almost bet you any money. There's definitely some foxtail in here, but nothing too bad. This is gonna be really thick, but I took a picture of it just to kind of verify and see what we're dealing with. And my app that I use has told me it's some sort of water grass, barnyard grass. It's invasive is what it said. It's a weed. It's considered a weed, even though it looks like grass to me. Really long and stemmy. That's pretty much it. There's really nothing on it. There's hardly any leaves. So in researching all that, it basically says it's really not good for hay. And even if it were good for hay, the more I go through here and look, all down in, you can see it right here, prime example, yellow foxtail. So I don't want that in my hay at all. We only got in about this far, and then tractor started acting up again. So I am going to make the decision to not cut this. So we'll just have the field up at the house, and I have one other field to do. So I'll go do that one. That one I know is decent stuff. So we'll back out of here and we'll just bush hog all this. Second cutting hay is not looking the greatest. Yeah, I blew through the tank or the line, everything, back with an air compressor. So we'll try and go now. I forgot about this field, so we'll get this cut. And then there's one more. Whether or not we cut that tonight, I don't know. I think that screen is causing me more problems than good. You can see discoloration in the sediment bowl. It's actually letting in fines of the rust. So that tells me that that screen is letting some by, number one. Number two, I bet you it's clogging up. So really what needs to be done, tank drained out again, that thing ripped out, put chains, bolts, whatever, something in the tank, shake it, get all that rust broken up, dumped out. It's a winter project, there's no doubt. But the problem is I need it right now to be able to work. So I'm trying to get by. I blew back through it again with an air compressor. So we'll go back out and try. I just got to get this field done over here by the barn, and we'll worry about the other one tomorrow. Oh, tractor. I hate to say it, but judging by how that looks in the sediment bowl, it's letting some through anyway, just not big chunks. And we're in worse shape now than when it gets a big chunk out of like the sediment bowl inlet there. So I'm gonna drain all the fuel back out, and I'm gonna pull that sediment bowl out, drop the screen, pull the screen back out, and I'm gonna save the screen because once I overwinter, if I pull this in and address the tank and the hydraulic leak and stuff, which I probably will, then at that point I can put the screen back in. But for right now, I think it's probably doing more harm than good, so it's not benefiting me having that. Now, unless there's something else going on, I can't imagine it's valves because it's sporadic. You know, it's back and forth. Sometimes it'll run good for a while, then all of a sudden it's like it picks up dirt, junk, piece of rust, and bam, it's just instantly popping, running like it's running out of fuel. So anyway, that's second cutting of hay. I didn't get to the third field, and I would like to, but I guess we'll see what happens with everything here. So thank you guys so much for watching, tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Drop a like on the video, and hopefully we can get this 460 dialed in. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.